Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. He sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
G'day, how we doing guys? It's Shandy with the Backyard Bushman channel, and I was going to do a video right now. Seems a little strange. It might be the weirdest premise for a this kind of video, but it's a bit muggy. I was going to duck off and take a shower, and before I did that I wanted to shoot something. I was out grabbing some stuff I'm going to need for the Pathfinder gathering next week, and I was noticing that, you know, as far as hygiene goes, you know, especially because of the big surge with ultralight backpacking, there's a lot of really small items that you can pick up and take with you to take care of your hygiene needs. So I picked up a couple because they're all pretty cheap, and I figured what I'd do is I'd try them out and tell you guys what I think of them. Now, this isn't by any stretch of the imagination a complete, you know, coverage of all the different hygiene options that are out there. You know, when I've got camp soap and all kinds of crazy stuff lying around, I'm not even going to dig it out for this. But as far as, you know, the small things, or maybe the things that you've seen, haven't tried yourself, I figured there wouldn't be any harm in me actually trying them out and let you know precisely what I think of them, because I'm finding it's too often, you know, I see some products and I and R, and is it A or is it B, and unless somebody's out there covering everything, you really don't know. So it seemed like a good place to start. And anyway, what I have today is I have three little soap options, and I thought they were interesting. One in particular, which is kind of what got me onto buying all of these and having a look at them. Now, the first one is an MSR pack soap. Okay, and you know MSR, if you know anything about backpacking, they make stoves and everything. And it's just a little bottle of soap. You know, it's biodegradable, highly concentrated, so on and so forth. And it's, I believe you can use it for, you know, doing your dishes, washing your hair, washing your body, whatever it is that you need soap for. It's under $3, so I picked it up and I figured I'd give it a try. The next one I noticed, I grabbed this because whilst I think it's probably just a comparable product, it is made by, where is it at? Sea to Summit, and you might have seen their products before as well. Well, this one says that it's super concentrated. Now, that doesn't mean much to me, you know, but I figured I'd give it a shot, because if you've got more than one kind of soap on the market, you know, you might as well have somebody tell you, well, hey, this one smells like a baboon's ass, and the other one, you know, smells like, you know, something nice, or whatever the case might be, or maybe one just feels better, or maybe I have some crazy allergy to one, which would be funny and make for a good video at least. So I'm going to try that one, and again, that's under $3. The other one I saw is Grand Trunk Travel Soap Leaves. Okay, and here we go. And I noticed this first of all because of the Grand Trunk emblem, and I'm pretty fond of their products. And I thought, what the heck is a soap leaf? Well, I took it out and I had a quick look at it, and in here you got a little snap package that, there we go, has these little little pads in there, and apparently they're soap pads. So it's kind of like, if you've seen your wife or your missus, she'll have those little pore cleaning pads. It's kind of like that, you know. It's really thin. It's almost like super thin communion bread if you've been to church. And apparently they lather up, and you can use them for your dishes, your body, your hair. They're biodegradable and everything else. And I thought, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be keen on the pads versus just, you know, scrubbing up with some liquid, because I use liquid soap most of the time. But I thought they're certainly worth a shot. I did notice while I was there that Coleman makes a version of the soap leaves, so somebody's onto something. And I have to say, in my experience with Coleman gear, whilst you can buy them at Walmart, you know, and some people might have the impression that, you know, Coleman is kind of like a generic brand. I've got some Coleman products I've been super happy with, but, you know, at this point in time I thought I'll go with the Grand Trunk purely because I want to support these guys. You know, they're not this monstrous conglomerate that makes absolutely everything, and I figured that'll give us a good review on just what these soap pads are about. Alright, now the next part of washing yourself, of course, is getting dry, and depending on the weather, you know, that's not always a huge concern. Sometimes it might be a very large concern. I don't have a backpack towel per se, you know, that I carry with me. I'm generally not in a situation where I need to scrub myself up. But being that I'll be out for a good part of a week next week, I figured I'd look at some solutions for that. Now, I looked around, and there was the, you know, different companies that made all these, you know, microfiber towels and so on and so forth. And I understand they get pretty small and soak up so much water and whatever else. And they also cost around, you know, $30, I think some were, which was ridiculous. I'd rather just cop it on the nose and take a normal beach towel. But I did see, this is I think it's RIT Products. It's a micro-made camp pack towel. And it just comes in a little pouch like this, a little carabiner clip, and of course it's got the camo in there because it's camo on everything all days these days. And it's not huge, but it's got this towel in here, you know, and it says that it's super absorbent, it's super quick to dry, it kills bacteria and all this other stuff. It's not the size of the towel that you would generally use when you had a shower or bath, of course, but you know, and I know that, you know, if you use it correctly, you could probably get yourself pretty dang dry. So I'm going to give that a shot. There we go. She detaches from the pouch right there. And again, this was a pretty cheap product. I think it was under a few bucks. So I wanted to see just how absorbent it is, because that might be a worthy addition to your pack. I know most of us carry a bandana in their pack, but you're trying to dry yourself with a bandana, you're not going to get too far. And the last thing I wanted to try, and I couldn't find the fabled brand, the ShamWow, or what I did find at Wally World was some Scotch-Brite absorbent chamois. And of course the ShamWow wasn't the first, the original. These kind of things, you know, the super cloths and mops and whatever else have been using these for ages. It even says on there, compared to ShamWow. So the missus can have one and I'll have the other. And I'm going to let you guys know how it goes drying off with one of these, because, you know, they're supposed to hold 10 times their weight in water and everything else. And I've heard people say that they've got these in these packs and they use them as a general towel for drying off. But again, this is let's open it there. It's a much larger product than the towel over here that fits in this little pack. And part of that, of course, is because this thing folds out so large, and it's actually, it's not that large. There we go. It doesn't fold out much larger than the other towel, but it's a lot thicker. So we'll see what happens in terms of what works best, and the size and so on and so forth. And I'll be back with a comparison on some shower hygiene items. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
You'll come a waltzing, Matilda.